Wow, that was a pretty good episode of Walking Dead that I've just seen. So yeah, we get to see backstory for a character in this episode, and we get to introduce to a brand new character. And so yeah, this was and also this is an episode which features much less characters than it normally does. Two main characters in this, which was a pretty nice little change, really. So yeah, anyway, join me, Lucamus Prime, as I review The Walking Dead Series 10, Episode 18, titled Find Me. So, on tonight's episode of Walking Dead titled Find Me, the episode begins with Daryl preparing to go hunting for food on his motorbike, and he's going to be going in the woods. And Carol wants to join him, and he's reluctant at first to let her go with him, but eventually agrees, and they both head off on the motorbike to find some food in the woods. So that's that's like a cold opening scene. Then we get the intro sequence, guys, and that was a pretty nice little start. And then while hunting, Dog, who for those who don't know is Daryl's pet dog, he's literally called Dog, locates an abandoned house in the middle of the woods. So it appears as though the dog is familiar with it because he's found it. And then when they go inside the cabin, Carol discovers a note, which is lying there alongside all the other stuff which is around it. And Daryl seems to recognise the note. And then we get treated to a flashback which takes place 5 years ago. So, I'm guessing by the time in flashing backwards to 5 years ago, this must mean this is taking place after Rick's apparent death, where he blew up the bridge, but he was airlifted to safety, but no one else knows about it. They all think he's dead. And Daryl is sat in the woods by the lake, by the river which Rick disappeared on, and he still wants to find him, despite, Carol and others, telling him, maybe to have a rest from it, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to, give up on his friend. And Daryl is wandering around the woods looking for him to see him. And then eventually he meets Dog, and they bond very well. And Daryl's wondering, where the dog came from. And then we get even more time jumps, guys. There's also a part where a little map that Daryl had at the start of it, which Carol found, got wet in a storm, and Daryl was upset about it. So that was something. I felt pretty sorry for Daryl there, to be honest. Then eventually, Daryl meets the dog again, and it leads him to the cabin. This is before it appeared to be abandoned and looking worn. And he goes inside it after taking down some walkers. One of them was him, then he took it down with his crossbow, but then all of a sudden he gets caught by the owner of the cabin, which was a woman with a shotgun. And Daryl doesn't want any trouble, he wants to leave, but she stops him, and she takes him prisoner, so she gags his hands with rope. And she's interrogating him. She won't reveal her name, but she gets Daryl to reveal who he is, but, his name is Daryl, doesn't want any trouble. Eventually, she sets him free, and then we get even more time jumps, leading up to the present day, and they keep on meeting, so Daryl gets to bond with Dog more, and so yeah, and he gets to have, a bit of a more friendlier relationship with the owner, so it's much more or less hostile as the time's progressing. Eventually, when Daryl's fighting a horde of walkers, she saves him with her shotgun, and Daryl, says, that she can't come back to camp because of that, really. And then after that, she reveals that her name is Leah. So that's who she is. Her name is Leah. Then eventually, overnight, the two begin to bond. And one thing I did pick up on, guys, was that they witnessed a solar eclipse. Because when I looked up the episode after I watched it, I looked up and I found out that this was an event depicted from 2017's solar eclipse. So this must mean that in the timeline of Walking Dead, that scene took place in 2017. So that was a very interesting thing that I picked up when watching it, which was pretty cool. So this must mean that this present timeline must be taking place in 2020 or 2021, possibly. However, one day after that night where they were bonding, Daryl comes back to her cabin and he finds Leah's missing, so, and he's very worried. And we don't know what happened to her. We don't know if she's dead, or she became a walker, or she's just left. We don't know what's become of her. And then we come back to the present day, of course. And then they're staying in the cabin, Daryl and Carol, and that's when the episode ends. So yeah, this was a very interesting episode. I like how it focused on Daryl, and it gave him some backstory of what happened after Rick's disappearance before, you know, episode 6 of series 9, where there was that time jump. And we got to see how he met his pet dog and how they bonded and became close friends, which I did like how they did that. It was very good. And what I think of the episode as a whole, well, the cast did a great job, you know, especially Norman Reedus and Melissa McBride, of course, as Daryl and Carol. And definitely the dog that got trained to play Dog, because that was brilliant. And also the actress who played Leah, for those you don't know, the actress who played Leah is actually the person who played Kayla Silverfox in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Her name is Lynn Collins, so yeah, she played this character. And I gotta say, she did a very good job playing this character of Leah. She was very good in the role. When I think about it, this episode only features, you know, these only three main characters, being, you know, Daryl, Carol, and Leah. Only 3 humans in this episode. Wow. So yeah. Do I hope Leah will be in a future episode? Yes, I do. I really hope that she appears in a future episode, and I hope that, you know, they find out what happened to her, because we don't know what her fate is. So I'm hoping that in the next 4 episodes of Series 10 or in Series 11, we do learn her fate. But yeah, and then we also got a trailer at the end, which appears to be, and the episode appears to be focusing on Father Gabriel and Aaron. And in addition to that, we also appear to be getting introduced to Robert Patrick's character, Maze, in the next episode as well. So that was a nice little teaser for the next episode. So I'm predicting the next episode will focus on those characters as a whole. I'm not sure who's going to return, because we've not seen Rosita or Eugene yet. So I'm wondering when they're going to show up. They might probably show up eventually, but I'm not entirely sure when. But all in all, this was a great episode of Walking Dead, guys. I really enjoyed it. It was amazing, and I can't wait for the next one. So I'm about to watch Talking Dead, as you can see, as Chris Hardwick out to present it. So I'm going to learn about behind the scenes of this episode, you know, more of it, from what I looked up, see if there's anything that I missed. So guys, this was me reviewing The Walking Dead Series 10 Episode 18, Find Me. So, you know the drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, to be sure on my comments as well, what you guys thought of tonight's episode of The Walking Dead, and what you think is going to happen in the next episode of it. Also, be sure to join Team Prime by pressing subscribe for more videos coming in the future, and I'll see you all later.